first rays of dawn kissed the horizon, old Silas stirred from his sleep. His hands were gnarled like an ancient oak. The bed springs creaked, a familiar sound. He pulled on his worn overalls, fabric soft from years of labor. He made his way to the kitchen. A pot of strong coffee brewed, Elara hummed a tune softly. She prepared a hearty breakfast. Eggs and bacon sizzled gently, a meal to fuel demanding work. They ate in comfortable silence. Silas grabbed his trusty pitchfork, its handle smooth from countless hours. He headed out into crisp morning air. Scent of damp earth filled his lungs. Fresh hay, a comforting aroma. Another honest day began. His first task, tending livestock. Hungry calls echoed across the yard. A close-up of a chicken pecking. Silas poured grain into a trough. Cows mooed softly, waiting. He checked their water supply. A gentle pat for Bessie, his oldest cow. Steam rose from the warm milk pail. He carried it carefully to the barn. Sunlight streamed through barn cracks. Dust motes danced in the light. Silas sharpened a tool on a grindstone. Sparks flew. A brief, bright shower. He inspected a broken fence post, a determined look on his face. He gathered tools for repairs, hammer, nails, and fresh timber. The morning's work was laid out. He paused, surveying his farm, a quiet sense of pride, the world awakening around him. Birds chirped from the oak tree. A gentle breeze rustled leaves. Silas took a deep, contented breath. His day had truly begun. He walked towards the far pasture. His shadow stretched long before him. The promise of hard work ahead, a farmer's unwavering dedication. He passed rows of young corn, green shoots reaching for the sun. The soil, rich and dark, crumbled. He felt its texture in his palm. A small rabbit darted across his path. Nature's rhythm, constant and true. He reached the fence line. The broken post stood out clearly. He set down his tools with a thud, assessing the damage with a keen eye. Another repair, another day's task. His resolve was firm. Silas finished feeding the hungry livestock, their calls now satisfied murmurs. He checked the water troughs, ensuring they were full and clean. The morning sun began to climb, painting the barn walls with light. Silas walked towards the far pasture, his gaze fixed on a broken fence line. He carried a heavy bag of tools, clanking softly with each step, his brow furrowed in concentration, assessing the damage. A section of old barbed wire lay tangled on the ground. He pulled out a hammer, its head gleaming in the sunlight. New fence posts lay stacked nearby, rough and unyielding. Silas began to dig, the shovel biting into the stubborn earth. Sweat beaded on his forehead, despite the cool morning air. He grunted with effort, driving the first post deep into the soil. The rhythmic clang of his hammer echoed across the quiet fields. Each strike was precise, practiced from years of similar work. He worked steadily, mending the gaps, securing the perimeter. The sun climbed higher, casting long, shifting shadows. Hours passed, marked only by the sun's slow ascent. Finally, the fence stood strong, a testament to his labor. Silas wiped his brow with a calloused hand, a small sigh escaping. He gathered his tools, his body feeling the strain of the morning. Next, he headed towards the expansive fields, his main crop awaiting. His old tractor sat patiently, a workhorse ready for duty. He climbed into the seat, the worn fabric familiar beneath him. The engine roared to life, a deep, comforting rumble. Smoke plumed from the exhaust, then settled into a steady rhythm. Silas engaged the gears, the tractor lurching forward. The tilling blades bit into the soil, turning it over in dark waves. He drove in straight lines, his movements economical and practiced. Each furrow was a testament to his dedication, a promise of future harvest. The smell of freshly turned earth filled the air, rich and fertile. He watched the soil, feeling its texture through the vibrations of the machine. The afternoon wore on, the sun beginning its slow descent. The sky transformed, painting the horizon in hues of orange and purple. Silas completed the last pass, the field now a tapestry of dark furrows. He turned off the tractor, the sudden silence almost deafening. His body ached, but a quiet satisfaction settled over him. He walked back towards the barn, the evening air cooling his skin. The livestock stirred, anticipating their final meal of the day. Silas scooped feed into buckets, his arms moving with practiced ease. He fed each animal, a gentle word for his oldest cow, Bessie. Bessie nudged his hand, her warm breath, a familiar comfort. He patted her flank, a silent acknowledgement of their shared history. The last chore done, Silas headed towards the farmhouse. A warm glow emanated from the kitchen window, a welcoming beacon. Elara greeted him at the door, a soft, knowing smile on her face. The aroma of a simple, nourishing supper filled the air. They sat at the wooden table, the day's quiet rhythm continuing. Silas recounted the day's small victories and challenges. Elara listened, her presence a comforting constant. The quiet rhythm of their lives, a steadfast anchor. Against the vast, ever-changing landscape, their bond endured. Silas leaned back, a contented sigh escaping his lips. The day's labor was done. The farm settled for the night. He looked at Elara, a silent gratitude passing between them. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows on the walls. Outside, crickets chirped a nightly symphony. The moon began its slow climb, illuminating the fields. Another day's work, another day's peace. Silas felt the deep, satisfying ache of honest toil. Tomorrow the sun would rise, and the work would begin anew.